Attention, please. Cinder Collie to the nurse's station. Cinder Collie to the nurse's station. Thank you.
Always to the nurse's station. You know, I never get any calls for anything fun. It's always, oh, Cinder, come to the nurse's station. Oh, Cinder, go wipe that butt. Oh, Cinder, you got some jerk out in the waiting room asking for you. It's never like, hey, Cinder, how you doing? It's always Cinder to the nurse's station. Cinder to the freaking nurse's station. Ugh. Hi, guys. What's up? It's the end of the week. It's Friday. It's Fursuit Friday. Get on Twitter and look at all the cute suits. I didn't post anything today, but a lot of people did, so go look at their stuff. Ugh. May is May. Welcome in, Shugaka. I see you. Bubba the Protogen. Hey, Snowy White Fox. Leopardblade. Online. Mr. Online. Mr. Worldwide. Mr. Online. Mr. Worldwide. Scray Wolf. Welcome in. Bay's Eagle. I see you up there. The Mamba. The Mamba is there. I see you, Mamba. Reality Glitch. Hey, what's up? How am I doing? I'm doing pretty good. Enjoying a nice Friday. We got an interesting topic today. Very complex topic that I'm going to try to explain as best I can. But man, it's complex. Look, OG coming with the follow at the start of the stream. The original Sad Wolf himself. Thanks for the follow. Welcome to Floppy Flock. Welcome in. Extreme Catfish. Thanks for the follow. Welcome to Floppy Flock. Welcome in. CJ Brown. Thanks for the follow. Welcome to Floppy Flock. Welcome in. Absurdist, hey! What's up? Haven't been doing great since last night's news. Uh-oh. What happened? What happened? I'm a furry, hey! Thanks for the follow, welcome to Floppy Flock, welcome in! Pikachu, I see ya! Flocky! Flocky, are you gonna learn today? Or are you gonna run? When we start talking about teaching stuff, you're gonna leave! And then you're gonna come back when we play games. All you ever want is the games, you never want the learning. You lost your... Aww. Faze, I'm sorry to hear that. It's never easy. I hope that they're remembered fondly, and I hope that you can, take some time to grieve, okay? But you'll make it through it. Time will heal everything. I know it doesn't feel like it at the time, but right now, but it will. You won't stop for games? Okay. Extreme Catfish, thanks for the bet. Look at that werewolf. Dancing werewolf. Amazing how fast you can talk. Yeah, amazing how fast you can listen. I'm glad that you can pick up at least half the words that I say. It's amazing. Also, what's up, Bands a Lot? Bands a Lot. I'm just gonna say Bands a Lot. Is that it? Bands a Lot. Bands a Lot. Metalworking, no booping. Stop that. The booping was reserved for that one picture I posted on Twitter, and that was the only picture. 3 boops on that picture only, and nothing else. If you didn't get in on it, too bad. I kind of love to hear your voice. Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate that. You need the pieces? The pieces of what? What pieces? Reese's Pieces? If you're talking about Reese's Pieces, I love Reese's Pieces. I don't know about any other pieces, though. Cinder, or people talk about Cinder being asked to wipe butts, but Cinder has probably wiped butts and changed diapers on old people all the freaking time. I used to work in the nursing homes. I did it basically nightly. When I used to work on the floor, I did it pretty much every day I worked. I don't do it as much now in the emergency department, but I still, I can still wipe a good butt. As good as anybody else. Oh, the coins. You're talking about the bits, the collie coins. Why? What are you planning? What are you planning? Suspicious of you. You're being sus. You're being sus. Have a nice stream. Bye, Flonky. Take care. Thanks for stopping by. It's German, so it's okay if you're struggling to speak. Can you write it out phonetically for me? Broster!
The job isn't finished until the paperwork is done.
Broster coming with the 100 bits, making Tux dance. You talk about wiping butts. The job is finished when there's no more poop left. That's how you do it. Broster, thanks for the 100 bits, thanks for making Tux dance. Look at that werewolf. Quality freaking werewolf right there. Hi. Fellow nurse. Hi. How well, Kai? How well do you know the immune system? Because I found out in the last, few hours of studying and writing notes that I didn't really know it that well. I didn't really know it that well. But I learned a lot. Or at least the basics. Enough that I can teach you guys the basics of it. We're not going to get into the whole, like, there are doctors who specialize in this, so we're going to go over the basics of it. Just the surface level. Pretty good, I think. You probably know it better than I do. Cinder is a cute boy. Aw, Snowy, thank you. Thank you. Damn it, Jim, I'm an ER nurse. I'm not an immunologist. Or a histologist. Histologist? I'm not a histologist. And I'm not a virologist either. I just fix bullet wounds and stabbings and sometimes people who are on drugs. But love you, Cinder, for this party, Kirby. I don't know if it's not loading in yet. Shugaka, no. God, no, it hasn't loaded in yet. No. It's ruined. Party, Kirby. It's ruined. Oh, wait, no, it is loaded in. Holy crap, yes. I see it. Oh, my God. And I didn't see it on my end, but I see it on the screen. Hey, it works. You need to reload the page. Okay. There's the party, Kirby. Yes. I love that emote. It's a good emote. Hey, Brendan, hey. What's up? Rick, also, hey. How you doing, Rick? Rick the Coyote. 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 Fox, Coyote, Yodi, I don't know. I don't know. Party Kirby test. Alright, who's a better dancer? Me or Kirby? Put a Party Kirby in the chat if you think Party Kirby dances better, or Cinder please in the chat if you think Cinder dances better. Which one do you guys think is better? You're the best dancer, boy? I doubt that. I'm calling doubt. I wipe a mean butt 20 times. I'll stand by that quote. I wipe a mean butt. It's pronounced coyote with an F. Coyote. Okay, so coyote. Bendy. Bendy Warp. I love that. I love the... Oh my god. The claps and the hyper claps for those two emotes are like perfect. I love it. I love it. I need to tell someone to stay off their hip if it hurts. Like, if their hip hurts, just don't move, I guess. I don't know. Go see an orthopedist? I don't know. Still not seeing Kirby. Do you have... Roaster, do you have better Twitch TV? You need better Twitch TV. It's an extension for Chrome and I believe Firefox and all the other major ones that lets you have free emotes and Twitch chats. Coffee. Have better Twitch emotes are on, can't find them. Refresh the page, try refreshing, see if that helps. That helped me. Cries in mobile? No, Sebastian, I'm sorry. You don't get to see all the emotes, I'm sorry. Oh god, give me this hand, I'm sorry. Or, alternatively, you can get a computer. Maybe. I don't know. You can see them. You can see them right here, though. Right? Like, you can see them over here. On that. So, that kind of works. You seem sus today? I'll show you sus. You want to see sus? I'll show you freaking sus. I am not sus! You want to see sus? How about you look at yourself in the mirror? Yeah. And then, you'll see suspicious. This face right here, pure innocence. Is there anything about this face that leads you to believe that I'm suspicious? Is there? I didn't think so. I can see them on the monitor at least. It's Sebastian. Big brain Sebastian. Cinder isn't sus, he's a good boy? Yes, exactly. See, I'm a good boy. I'm not sus. But ultimately, being a good boy means that you are also the most sus, because nobody trusts you to be sus, and nobody expects you to be sus because you're a good boy. And then, well, you stab them in the back. Or in the butt. Whiskey can tell if you're sus or not. I've tricked Whiskey a few times. I've gotten Whiskey a few times, yeah. I have. I've also caught him a few times too, so you know. Seems normal to me, see? Thank you. Thank you. Normal face, normal innocent face. Angry is always suspicious. I disagree. This face is my disagreeing face. Cinder is sus master only when I'm imposter. In which case, then I'm gonna stab you in the butt. But otherwise, I'm innocent. There's a halo above me. It's just sometimes held up by demon horns and the fires of hell. But it's up there. There's a halo up there. I promise you. It's there. All right, guys. I have something else. So for today, when we get done with lecture, you guys get to vote. That's right, we're having another dogmocracy moment. Another cornerstone, historical moment in our fresh, vital, yet young, budding dogmocracy, in which your voice matters, but only based on the choices that I give you. Thus, is the structure of a dogmocracy. So, after lecture, you'll get to vote. Do we play the Turing test or Superliminal? I got both of them ready to go. You have to pick though. And you'll get to vote after lecture. You gotta sit through the lecture first. You gotta learn first. Before you have fun, you gotta learn. Sunshine Love, thanks for the follow. Welcome to Floppy Flock. Welcome in. Aiden Voyager, hey. Channel Fluffy Boy, is it your birthday? Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. This is your birthday song. It isn't very long. Hey, there you go. Sounds like you have an obsession with stabbing the booty because you've mentioned stabbing butt 3 times in 1 minute. Maybe. How about you stop metering my use of words? Cinder is 100% good boy. Yes. I mean, come on. Does this look innocent to you? Do I look innocent? I am the best. Do I look innocent? I'm just a dog. I'm just a little dog. Do I look innocent to you? Is this innocent? Or is this suspicious? Does this look suspicious? I couldn't kill you. No, I'm too cute. I'm too cute. And then you turn your back. Have you seen all these streamers streaming Cyberpunk? Yeah, like everybody is. Everybody is. I don't really have any interest in playing it right now. I'm gonna give it like, you know, there's the release date, right? So you have the release date of a game, and then you have the playable date, right? So like the release date is the day it comes out, right? Everybody knows the release date. And then like in like a month or two, you get the playable date, which is the date when the game actually becomes playable when they fixed all the launch bugs. You gotta wait about a month, maybe 2. The face of a cold-blooded killer? Only if you're not paying attention. Swiggity Sooty coming for them booty. I hear it's buggy as hell. I mean, it's a big game. What did you expect? Alright. Alright. Captain Grumpy, welcome in. Hey, are you guys ready to learn? You know what time it is? It's time to put those asses in that chair, sit down, shut up. It's time for class. If you're late, I'm gonna call your parents. If you eat food in this class, I'm gonna embarrass you with a fart. If you make any distractions, The door's right there. You can walk right back out it the same way you came in. But if you're here to learn, pay attention. So I'm gonna teach you what I know. We turn down the music? Sure. Better? Let me switch around my coffee and my water. I need a bigger desk. Actually, I just need a new desk. This IKEA desk has been great for like 3 years, but new desk would be awesome. Okay. So unless you've been living under a rock for the last, I don't know, 3-4 months, you know that the Pfizer and Moderna vaccines are now starting to get to the distribution phase, where they're starting to be distributed, and people are already starting to get post-trial shots of a vaccine for COVID, right? And in order to understand how this vaccine works, we need to understand the basics of how our immune system works. Voice dropped? Yes, because I dropped the character voice and went to my normal voice. Because it's hard to teach in my character voice. Can we hear your deep voice? I mean, this is about as deep as I can go. My voice doesn't go much deeper than that. It usually just sounds like this, though. You can't partake in class today? Well, get a note. I don't know. Tell them you're sick. Tell them you're vomiting. Tell them you have COVID. I actually don't do that. Don't do that. Then that's gonna cause issues. Your tummy's upset. I don't know. Use autotune to make it deeper? Nah. Ashley Renamon, thanks for the follow. Welcome to Floppy Flock. Welcome in. Students got prepubescent voice. Hey, listen. Did you really expect the puppy to have a deep voice? Come on. I'm just a dog. New face rig? Yeah. I've had it for like what, like a month now? Month and a half? The immune system. Try heavy metal screaming? No. I've tried before. I've practiced and I've tried before and I can't do it. I can't do it. I'm also at work, but this is way more important. You better be paying attention. You better not. Don't get in trouble because of me. If you get in trouble because of me, I don't know what I'm gonna do. But be paying attention at work. Can you imagine if all the nurses were sitting around the nurses station watching Twitch? I've definitely done that before, but it probably wouldn't end too well. Okay. I like the fact that you said you've practiced. I tried, but I dabble. Well, more than dabble. I genuinely enjoy metal, right? And the screaming and the growls. And sometimes it's hard to sing along to a song unless you can growl. So you try to learn how to do it, and then you realize it's a lot harder than you thought it was, and then you give up because your throat hurts and you don't want to destroy your voice box, so you just stop. But I did try it. I'd rather pay attention to the class then. Well, don't get in trouble. I'm telling you, if you get in trouble, then that's your own fault. But I'm actually from the ambulance and as well know everything about that. You talk about the immune system? You know everything about the immune system? Everything. Or you just know the basics? Is that what you're talking about? Radical Wolf, thanks for the follow. Welcome to Floppy Flock. Alright. So, the immune system. So your body, over centuries and millennia of evolution, has developed a system to protect ourselves from foreign invaders, such as bacteria, viruses, fungi, toxins, right? We have developed a system of protecting our sturdy and complicated yet very fragile body. Right? As anybody who's seen any type of severe septic infection knows, our body can very easily be overrun by something as small as a virus. I look no further than the current COVID-19 pandemic, in which, at least in America, almost 300,000 people have succumbed to a tiny little virus. So our bodies are great. They're amazing, wonderful machines. But damn, do these foreign invaders love to just mess things up. Typically, it's going to be like a bacteria, right? I think it's more common you get like bacterial infections, but in the case of COVID, you got viruses. I mean, cold's a virus, right? Influenza, the flu is a virus, right? And there's who knows how many types of just stomach viruses out there that'll just get you, right? But moving forward, we're going to refer to any bacteria, virus, fungus, toxin as a pathogen, okay? So a pathogen is a external source that causes disease, right? So a bacteria, a virus, a fungus, a toxin, these are all what we call pathogens, okay? We're gonna have a lot of words in this that are going to sound alike, look alike. You're gonna have antigen, antibody, pathogen, right? There's a lot of words that we're gonna be thrown around in this, and it can get a little confusing at times, okay? But I'll try to teach you guys the basics. So our body has developed a system to protect our organs and the systems of our body from pathogens. Okay, we have fine-tuned this and developed this over the years, and what we have is a pretty robust and complicated system in place to protect us that both works exceedingly well, but can also work too well to the point of causing damage to yourself, right? So we're going to talk about three kind of separate layers of the immune system, okay? So the first layer is going to be your physical barriers. And I hope you guys like microbiology, because this is going to be pretty much all microbiology focused. We're not going to do much macro focus today. It'll be mostly microbiology. So your physical barriers, this one's pretty straightforward, right? What's the biggest physical barrier on your body that protects yourself from infection? You can look at it right now. It's the skin. The body's biggest organ, the skin. That lovely thing that we can pull on and look at and palpate and blanch, right? Your skin. Your skin, as we talked about in our burn conversation, we talked about the different layers of the skin, the epidermis, the dermis, and the hypodermis, right? But these all work as a barrier to protect your insides from the outside, okay? The other main physical barrier that you have is going to be your mucous membranes, which are what line pretty much any of the organs that are open to air, such as your lungs, your GI tract, right, your nasal passages. These are all covered by a thin layer of mucus, right? And that mucous membrane works to capture and dissolve or break down pathogens before they can get into the cells, like this. Is it? It's that's mucus. I think, yeah. I'm gonna say there's no O in mucus. So your skin and your mucus are your physical barriers, right? These work pretty well for a lot of things, right? You walk around day in, day out, and are probably exposed to millions, if not billions, if not trillions of different pathogens every day, right? Majority of them don't make it past your skin or get trapped in the mucous membranes, and you never even know about them, right? Your skin alone is covered in billions and billions of different types of microbacteria that live on there and replicate and do their thing, but don't cause any type of damage to you because they cannot make it through that physical barrier, okay? First step of defense against pathogens, physical barrier, skin, mucus. But say that pathogen somehow finds its way through a mucous membrane, and it gets down into your tissues. This is when we start to talk about the immune system. This is when we start to talk about our different types of white blood cells. I'm sure you guys have heard of the term white blood cells before. White blood cells refer to cells that help fight infection, all right? So if you're in the hospital and we check for your white blood cell count, we're checking to see if you have an elevated level of white blood cells that could indicate an infection, all right? So you have two main types of immune responses, all right? One of them is going to be quick and kind of inaccurate, and the second one's going to be slower but more accurate. Dude, Joyful Ware continuing their sub from Ace Rail. I don't know why you didn't get an alert, but I see ya. Hold on, let's do this. There. I'll give you a test.
This is a test.
Joyful, where? Continuing this up from Ace Rail. Joyful, you're covered under collar care. From the Fox to the Minions, I got you covered. That's the best I can do. I don't know why I didn't trigger, but there you go. So, the first response of your immune system was what we're going to call the innate immune response. So your innate immune response is the first immune systems that are going to be triggered once a pathogen has entered into the tissues, right? It is not very well guided. It's more of just like a general run at every. It's not a very. It's not. I'm trying to think of the way. It's not specialized, right? So the type of pathogen that infects the skin or that breaks through. The innate immune response doesn't care what type of pathogen it is. It just sees pathogen and it kills, okay? So, first thing that happens. So say your skin, say here on your skin, you get a cut, right? So you cut your skin, and we'll make the pathogen green. And a pathogen gets in, okay? The pathogen has bypassed the first layer, which is the physical barriers, and now into the tissues of your body. This is where the innate immune response comes in. One of the first things that's going to happen is these damaged skin cells here, right, are going to trigger mast cells. Now, do you guys remember when we talked about mast cells before in the past? When we talked about the allergic response, right? Remember one of the things we talked about was mast cells. Mast cells are responsible for releasing histamine, right? So when the damaged skin tissue sends out signals that trigger these mast cells to say, hey, we've been damaged, we need to be careful for possible pathogens that could enter, right? The mast cells go from a resting state to an active state and release histamine. All right. Now, do you guys remember what histamine does in the body, especially at the tissue level? Because remember, we talked about this before. Nitro Pack, thanks for the follow. Welcome to Flobby Flock. Welcome in. Histamine does a couple things. First and foremost, it's going to vasodilate. And it's going to increase permeability of your vessels. Increase perm. So, as histamine starts to be released, all of the vessels in the surrounding area begin to vasodilate, right? They get bigger, they get wider, right? If you have a wider vessel, it means you can have more blood and more white blood cells and healing nutrients to that area, right? You want to increase the amount of resources that are going to that area of damage, right? So you vasodilate. On top of that, you're increasing the permeability of the vessels. So as they start to dilate, proteins and white blood cells can leak out through that vessel and get into the tissue that has been damaged. Okay, this is one of the first things that's going to happen when you have some kind of break in the skin. Some histamine is going to be released, things are going to dilate, and things are going to leak out. What does this cause? It causes redness, causes swelling, it causes heat, right? What we would considerably think inflammation. Histamine leads to inflammation. Right? As you dilate and increase the amount of fluid running to that area and increase the permeability of those vessels, a lot of that fluid is going to start to leak out into the surrounding tissues to help fight the infection, which we perceive as a red, warm to the touch, sometimes itchy or painful swelling in our arm where we got cut, right? That is what's happening with that. And that inflammation is important, right? Because the more nutrients and the more white blood cells that we can get to that damaged area, the better we can work to fight off that pathogen that's invading our tissues, okay? So the skin's been damaged. The mast cells have been activated. The mast cells have released their histamine, causing vasodilation and increased permeability of the vessel wall, creating inflammation. Well, what come running to the rescue, right? Let's start talking about our white blood cells. All right. And remember, we're still under the innate immune response here. So we're going to talk about a couple different types of white blood cells. I'm not going to go too much into all of them because there's different subtypes of each type, but we're going to touch on some of the basic ones, okay? We have a pathogen example. Yeah, COVID. SARS-CoV-2. Perfect. There you go. SARS-CoV-2 is a virus that is a pathogen. A pathogen is a bacteria or a virus or a fungus, something that enters the body to cause disease or infection. So, the first type of white blood cell that we're going to talk about is a phagocyte. So phagocytes, literally in their name, they eat, okay? A phagocyte is a type of white blood cell that physically surrounds or ingests or eats a pathogen, okay? So if I'm sure you've seen those little, those videos online of like a microscope, right? And you can see the phagocyte kind of chasing around the bacteria before it kind of encircles it and eats it, right? That is what a phagocyte does. There are two main types of phagocytes that we're going to talk about. The first one's going to be neutrophils. There's your little neutrophil right there. So it's like, yes. Oh, Jesus freaking Christ. Yes! It's like Vor. If you want to go there, sure. Although, I doubt that the pathogen gets much excitement from being ingested and destroyed within the phagocyte. But yeah, sure. You want to imagine it like that? Go ahead. Whatever helps you learn. Jesus. Kids these days, I can't understand you. Phagocyte sounds like off-brand Thai food. Actually, Thai food sounds pretty. Okay. So neutrophils are usually the first white blood cell to make it there, right? Neutrophils are the most abundant, right? So you have a lot of these floating around, right? Neutrophils, they will eat and self-destruct. The neutrophils are great because we have a lot of them, but they can only eat one pathogen, right? So remember, let's back up for a sec. So as this pathogen enters the skin, it's not always just one specific, like it's not just one unit of SARS-CoV-2, right, of COVID. It is multiple different units, right? So you have multiple SARS-CoV-2 virus cells, I guess you can call them, you can't even call them cells, units circling around in the tissue, right? Neutrophils are great because they can ingest that virus, they can ingest that pathogen, but then they self-destruct. So they eat and blow up, right? They are, I guess you call them like suicide bombers almost. They eat and blow up, right? And what happens is if you have an infection that's bad enough, you start to get a collection of these essentially destroyed and broken down neutrophils. And have you ever had fix the handwriting and I'll listen? No.
Sorry I'm late for class slides, Professor Collier coffee.
Mastermind, I can't believe you're late. I can't believe you. Wait, what's this? This is coffee. Okay, you can be late. Thank you. I'm just gonna take a few licks of this. Yep, it's good. Okay, you're fine. Take your seat. I often explode after eating. Tori Darkfire sitting there after eating, resting at home, nice full belly. All of a sudden, just explodes all over the couch. So, these neutrophils rush to the site, start eating up as many pathogens as they can and blowing up, right? One neutrophil, each one pathogen, blows up. Another neutrophil, each another pathogen, blows up, right? And you start to get a collection of these that start to build up at that site. And that's what pus is. Pus is a collection of neutrophils that have eaten and exploded themselves, and you get enough of them, you get that purulent, kind of white, nasty, cream-colored looking drainage. That is what pus is. It is dead white blood cells, essentially. So, these neutrophils come running in, hump, blow up, right? They also are attracted by the chemical signals that are released when all of this inflammation starts, right? So they get almost pulled into this. They start rushing towards that site, kind of like sharks to chum, right? You throw chum in the water and the sharks can smell it and come running over it, right? The neutrophils can tell, hey, there's an inflammatory response going on. Let's run over there and go start grabbing pathogens and start eating them up and destroying ourselves, right? Just all they do. It's what they love to do, right? That's one type of phagocyte. Remember, phagocytes are a type of cell that is going to eat another type of cell. But we also have macrophages. Macrophages are great. You know why macrophages are great? Because they can eat more than one pathogen. They just start grabbing pathogens, eating them up. Hump. Start eating them up, right? I can take you, I can take you, I can take you, right? So where a neutrophil will eat one and die, right? A macrophage can eat multiple before having to either kill itself or die. They're bigger, they're tougher, right? They're a little bit stronger than neutrophils. So think of neutrophils as your disposable frontline. Think of them like the frontline healthcare workers, right? We're just disposable and we're just expected to get sick and die, right? Think of that as your neutrophil. It's just expected to go in there, grab the pathogen, get sick and die so everybody else can live on, right? That's what the neutrophil is. And then your macrophages are going to be the ones coming in with the PPE who can see multiple patients without dying. There's a little bit of saltiness in that one. I'm sorry. That was a little salty with that one. Pac-Man macrophage, that's one way to think about it. It just comes in and hump, eats them all up. Jaded much? Maybe a little bit. Yes, think of macrophages like the tank, right? But macrophages can do other things, right? So they can't eat, right? And they will eat those pathogens as they're coming in. But they can also release some pyrogenic chemicals, right? So if these two start to get overrun, right? So if the macrophages and the neutrophils start to get overrun, they can release chemicals that can trigger a fever, right? So these are your two of your frontline infantry, okay? If they start to get overrun, they will go ahead and release chemicals that'll trigger your hypothalamus to rank up the thermostat in your body to just start burning everything because they're saying, hey, we're getting our butts kicked, burn it all down, right? Not only does that fever help to destroy some of those pathogens, but it also helps to ramp up the metabolism of all your other cells so they can heal quicker, all right? So those are your two types of phagocytes, all right? Still, remember, we are still under the innate immune response at the moment, all right? So if phagocytes eat and kill almost indiscriminately pathogens, right? You have another type of white blood cell called lymphocyte. Remember when I said today was going to be very heavy on microbiology? I wasn't kidding. That's an O. That's going to bother me. So lymphocytes are interesting because lymphocytes use a system to identify specific cells in order to destroy cells that are sick. All right. So we're going to get into a little bit of some more microbiology here. So, cells in your body have proteins on their surface, right? So if you have a cell here, right, it's going to have a little protein on its surface here, right? And it's probably got more than just one, but it's got this protein on its surface. We call this an MHC. MHC is a big word that stands for major histocompatibility complex. Okay? There are different classes of MHCs. Now, cells in your bodies, healthy cells, have MHC class 1, right? And this is to tell other cells in the body, hey, I'm good, I'm healthy, I'm fine, nothing's wrong with me, right? So you have this thing called, you have this protein on the edge of your cell called an MHC1, okay? Well, your lymphocytes are going to be the cells responsible for, or some of the cells responsible for interacting with those proteins, okay? So one of the lymphocyte we're going to talk about first that is part of your innate immune response. Remember, your innate immune response is your first line of defense before you get to what we call the adaptive immune response, which is where we're going to start talking about vaccines, okay? You have a cell under lymphocytes within your innate immune response called a natural killer cell. Which is probably the coolest sounding cell in the body. It's called a natural killer cell or an NK cell, however you want to call it. The natural killer cells, which we'll talk about in a second.
Hey, look, a distraction. Tries to sneak out of class.
Tori, don't you get back in here. You get back in here right now. We're not done learning. Can we have a timeout? Why? Why? We'll recap it. We will recap it. So, your natural killer cell, your NKC, your NK cell, it has, I'm trying to think of how I want to, I gotta check my notes for a second, hold on. Okay, so your natural killer cell has little protein receptors on it, right? So, sitting on the edge of this thing right here, on the edge of your natural killer cell, say you have a little protein receptor, right? Got a bunch of them, kind of sitting here, right? And this protein receptor is going to look for this MHC1 protein on the edge of a healthy cell. So this natural killer cell is going to float around, right, in the blood until eventually it comes up to a cell, that a healthy cell with an MHC1, it's going to bind to it and say, okay, you're good, right? It's an inspection. Think of this like an inspection, right? You go to TSA to go to the airport, right? You want to get on your plane. The natural killer cell is TSA. Your MHC1 is your passport or your ticket to get onto the plane, right? The natural killer cell is, hey, you got the ticket, you got your papers, you can go through. Awesome, thank you. What happens is, if you have a cell that gets infected, that cell will stop producing that MHC1. Without that protein on the edge of the cell, when the natural killer cell comes in contact with a cell, and it goes to check for that, it uses its protein receptors to check for that MHC1 complex, or that MHC1 protein, and it doesn't see it there, it kills it. There's no, and we'll talk a little bit more because lymphocytes can get pretty specific about things, but specifically the natural killer cell is there to identify a healthy cell. If it identifies a cell that does not have that MHC1 protein on it, indicating that it is not healthy, it kills it. It doesn't think twice. It just says, oh, you don't have it? Okay, dead. Bye. So, your neutrophils and your macrophages, which are your phagocytes, are going to go around and just eat up as many proteins as many pathogens as they can, while also releasing chemicals to call in more phagocytes and white blood cells, while also releasing chemicals that'll ramp up the temperature in your body and cause a fever to try to burn everything, right? In the same vein, your lymphocytes are going to flow around, specifically your natural killer cell is going to float around and identify which cells are healthy and which cells are infected. If it identifies an infected cell, it kills it. It's kind of an extreme TSA. It is an extreme TSA. Instead of them kicking you out of the airport, if you don't have your passport, they just kill you. Are phagocytes only found near the skin? They are found in tissues and in blood. Primarily, though, they're more so in tissues. Your lymphocytes are more going to be in your blood. but your phagocytes are in tissues, but they are in blood too, and they just float around and just eat things. All right. This works pretty well. For most infections, this will work pretty well, right? As long as you don't get if you don't get massively sick, your innate immune response will take care of a good number of infections. You might not even notice that it's going on, right? You might not even know that this happened, and it just because the infection just didn't get to a point where it caused issues. That is your innate immune response. So it's not very guided in the sense that it doesn't really identify what type of pathogen you're dealing with, and it doesn't identify, it doesn't trigger specific responses to a specific pathogen. It just sees pathogen and kills it. That's what the response of the innate immune response is: to see a pathogen and just kill it, right? But it doesn't care what type it is. What would break down a 30-year-old scar mass? Us? I have no idea, broster. No idea. Ask your doctor. Sorry, I don't have a good way to answer that question. I have no idea. As long as you don't get sick. No, I said as long as you don't get sick. There's your hedge. Hey. Vextra. No. Go back to your chair. Go back to your chair. Sit down and think about what you did as I erase this. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Coming up in my class and writing stuff on my board. Why doesn't our body tell our brain any of this is happening? It seems important. I mean, it kind of happens just on its own, right? You'll feel the effects, right? You'll feel the effects of a fever, right? Or you'll feel the effects, you'll see pus, right? Or you'll get achy. You'll see the effects of the inflammation from the histamine response, right? You know this is going on, right? But you just might not realize what is actually physically happening, right? You get a cut on your arm, it's red for a little bit, right? And then it gets better in a day or two. Your body knows what's going on because you can look at it and say, oh, I got a little red, okay, but you don't think much of it. Meanwhile, your innate immune response is going in there and just going ham on these pathogens, right? The problem is when it gets to the point where it can't be handled with the innate immune response, and then we have to trigger the adaptive immune response. This is where things get fun. So your adaptive immune response is responsible for it's slower, but it is going to be more precise, right? So whereas your innate immune response is faster, but maybe less accurate because it just kills everything. It just kills all the pathogens, right? The adaptive immune response is actually going to, per its name, adapt to the specific type of pathogen that is infecting you. Are these guys present around bone? They're made in bone marrow, so yeah. Alright. So, in order to understand the adaptive immune response, we need to go back and talk about this idea that cells have proteins on their outside. Okay? Just like your normal cells, which have this MHC1 protein on its side to indicate that it's a normal cell, sometimes your macrophages, after eating a bunch of pathogens, what they do is they break down those pathogens into little chunks of protein, and they will also wear those proteins. Let me bring it down here. They will wear those proteins on their surface almost like a trophy, right? By the way, these are what we call antigens.
Raise his hand. Will we be covering failed immune systems today?
We won't be covering that today, no, because we're just going to go over what should be happening. I'm not going to go into like autoimmune stuff. But once you understand kind of the idea and the process behind it, you can probably figure out what would happen if this went wrong. As you can tell with like people who have type 1 diabetes or multiple sclerosis, where their body attacks them and causes pretty significant damage. All right. So, the macrophage eats a bunch of pathogens, breaks them down, takes little chunks of the proteins from those pathogens and puts them on their surface as and presents them as antigens, right? So antigens are essentially broken bits of proteins from pathogens.
I'm learning.
You're learning. Thanks for the bit. This is important to understand. So, cells wear proteins on their surface. Sometimes our immune cells, after eating pathogens or invaders, will break down those proteins and present them on their surface for inspection. Okay? And I'm going to tell you why this matters. So, lymphocytes. Remember I told you lymphocytes have protein receptors on them, which can interact with the proteins that are presented by other cells. Whereas a natural killer cell is out to identify proteins that would be normally found in healthy cells, your lymphocytes in your adaptive immune system are going to identify proteins that are broken down from pathogens, also known as antigens. Okay? Like I said, we're going to use a lot of words that sound similar, but I want to drill this into your head. An antigen is, think of it like, so you have like a barbarian warrior, okay? The barbarian warrior goes out and kills somebody. That barbarian warrior then wears that person's skull around their neck as a trophy and a signal to say, hey, I killed this person. Look at what I killed. That is what your macrophages can do. They will kill the pathogens, the virus, the flu, or the virus, the bacteria, the fungus, whatever it is, and then they will break down bits of that pathogen and present proteins on their skull, or on their chest, on their cell membrane. God damn it! Buztex the goat. Thanks for the rating too. I appreciate it. Welcome in, guys. Thanks for blasting my ears for a wonderful NGWK. A microscopic assassin bug. I said a swear. I say a lot of swears. All right. So when I refer to an antigen, okay, that is a piece of protein from a digested pathogen that the macrophage is presenting for inspection. Okay? Does everybody understand that? Because you need to understand that before we can move on. This concept is vital to understanding the next process that's going to happen within the adaptive immune response. I'm going to wait. We'll go over it one more time. Here, let me draw it. You have your macrophage, you have your pathogen. Right? Let's say this is MRSA. Okay, methicillin-resistant Staphylococcus aureus, Staph aureus, whatever it is. All right. The macrophage ingests the pathogen to kill it. Okay. The macrophage then digests and breaks it down into proteins, which it then proudly displays on its surface. Okay? Macrophage eats, breaks down, presents. Okay? Does that understand that? Does that make sense? Oh God! Okay. You should do some Google Doc pop quizzes you could pass out to the class. Nah. You guys aren't here to take tests. You guys are here just to learn for fun. I want a no pressure environment for learning. Okay? When the macrophage presents that protein from its destroyed pathogen on its surface, call that an antigen. Okay? I mean, actually, technically, I'm going to complicate things. An antigen is just a protein that is not found in the body, right? So an exogenous protein, right? So you can have viruses that have antigens on their surface, right? like these proteins from, say, SARS, right? That are the same proteins that would be presented on the macrophage, and the same type of idea that's talked about here with the normal cell having that MHC1. This is known as an antigen. Okay? All right. So, natural killer cells have the ability to have protein receptors on them that identify MHC1 in healthy cells and don't kill them. If it does not identify MHC1 on a cell, it knows that cell is sick and it kills them. Well, our adaptive immune response works a little bit differently. It can identify specific antigens and trigger responses that are specifically tailored for that pathogen, right? So think of the antigen as the calling card for a specific pathogen, and the antigen is picked up by the lymphocyte, and they say, oh, hey, this is SARS. And then it's like, cool, we know it's SARS, and then it starts making its defense against SARS. This takes a couple days for you to develop a big enough system or a big enough army to fight it, but it does work extremely well. So, you have two types of lymphocytes that work within the adaptive immune system. That's big. We'll talk about the B cell first. What happens if a macrophage eats something that it can't kill? Then it just destroys itself. It just takes it out with it. So is that what consumes the viral components that are injected in vaccines? No, we'll talk about that in a second. That'll make sense. I will touch on how vaccines work once we go over the process that happens innately in your body. All right. So your B lymphocyte or your B cell. All right. You have, what do you got? Like thousands. I don't even know how many. You have a lot of these B cells floating around in your blood, right? And each of these B cells have protein receptors, what we call antibody. So a protein, the protein receptors that are on your natural killer cells and that are on your B cells, and what we'll talk about soon, your T cells, these are antibodies.
Sri never gonna give you up, never gonna let you down, never gonna run around and desert you, never gonna make you
I'm not gonna listen to that whole thing. Thanks for the bit. Thanks. I'm not gonna let that play. That's gonna take forever. And I want to keep talking. I want to keep teaching. So, your B cells have all these antibodies on the edge of it, right? Remember, these antibodies are responsible for interacting with the antigens on pathogens. These little protein chains that stick out on the outside of the pathogen, right? So you have each B cell has about 10,000 of these antibodies, and each one of those antibodies is specific for a specific type of antigen, right? So each B cell has 10,000 different keys to help identify 10,000 different types of pathogens, right? And you have thousands, hundreds of thousands, maybe I could even possibly millions of these things floating around in your blood, right? So if each one of them has 10,000 specific antigens or antibodies, you just kind of win based on pure odds, right? You just hope that you have the right antibody for the right antigen to trigger this system, right? And if you don't, then we give it to you, which we'll talk about in vaccinations here in a minute, right? So this B cell floats around in your blood, right? Usually, it's already been triggered to the site based on your innate immune response with inflammation and all the chemical signals that are released during that. You start to get your B cells that'll fly over there and start to investigate things, right? So your B cell floats around, right? And let's say this specific antibody right here. We'll say CD268 binds to SARS. That is the antibody that binds with the antigen from SARS. Here's our SARS virus. There's our antigen. Okay. As this B cell floats around, eventually this is going to connect. All right, the B cell is going to latch onto a SARS virus unit. It's going to identify it because its antibody is going to receive and connect with the antigen on the SARS virus, and this is when the process starts. So the B cell is just floating around, bumping into things until all of a sudden, bam, it gets a match, right? And it goes, oh crap, I got a match, right? So what does it do? The B cell replicates. So this B cell, after being triggered, after the antibody on its cell membrane triggering with the antigen from the pathogen that's in your blood, starts to divide. Why is it doing that? Because this cell can identify that virus. So it's important that you have more of these B cells to bind with more of the pathogen, right? So it triggers, and then it just starts making copies of itself.
Pay attention and learn yourself some education, fellow students.
All right, thanks for the 5 bits. Yes, learn. Also, Just Husk, I see you. I see you continuing your sub that you got from Max Husky. I'll play you this.
This is a test.
That's a test, but also Just Husky, you've continuing your sub from Max Husky. Just Husky, you're covered under colic here from the Floss of the Beans. I got you covered. the band is he's to be here to learn about his favorite B cell. Not the bee. Please do not post the bees in the chat. Do not. I hate the bees. That's my Vacky impression. So, your B cell floats around. The antibodies on the edge of the B cell connect with the antigen from the SARS virus. The B cell goes, oh crap, I've been activated, and it starts cloning and dividing. It starts making as many clones of itself as possible. The reason for this is you now have identified that this pathogen is in your system, and you need as many cells as possible to create as many antibodies as possible to fight off that infection. So what does your B cell do? After it started splitting and dividing and calling in reinforcements, it starts spewing out these antibodies, right? So these little proteins that sit on the end, right? So CD268, right? Whatever protein that is. I don't know if that's the actual protein, but it's just a protein. The B cell is going to start shooting these out. And they're just going to start floating around in the blood, interacting with as many antigens as possible. Sometimes even getting enough, if you get enough antibodies around one antigen, or one pathogen rather, it can just surround it and prevent it from infecting, right? So the B cell divides, and it starts spewing out antibodies. And as you start to have more and more B cells, B cells that are expanding and dividing, right? So say this splits into 2, then that splits into 4, and then 8, and then 16, right? And it continues on. Each one of those B cells will also interact with a SARS virus, right? And continue the process. And you get this massive, almost chain reaction response, right? And then you have all of these antibodies floating around in the blood to help attach to the SARS virus. This does 2 things. It marks it for killing, right? It marks it to be killed, but it can also prevent the SARS virus from actually sticking or infecting other cells. Does that make sense? There's no way a B cell should be able to fly. Side note, while the B cell is dividing and cloning, it splits into 2 different types. Your effector cells and your memory. Your effector B cells are the ones that are going to spew out all these antibodies. Your memory B cells are going to sit in the back and just linger because they are going to be there as memory. So this way you build up as the infection, as the process begins and you divide more and more and more, You get way more effector cells than you get memory cells, but you do collect a good amount of memory cells. Those memory cells will continue to just float around in the blood, waiting to interact with another SARS virus at some point in the future. This is how you develop immunity. It's these memory cells that are important. Your body has a way of remembering which pathogens it's interacted with and can develop a defense against it, so when it sees it again the second time, it's already ready, and you can bypass some of this process. Why do anti-vaxxers even exist? Because misinformation is a very dangerous tool. Some chill in the lymph nodes. Yeah, they chill in the lymphatic system as well, right? I haven't really talked much about the lymphatic system because I don't really find it particularly interesting, but they just kind of hang around. You can figure out how the immune system's memory works. I think there's a Nobel Prize waiting for you. No, I'm not that smart. So, this right here with the B cells, this is what we call a humoral response, right? So this helps with humoral immunity, which is in reference to humors, right? Fluid, your blood and your lymph, right? So this is going to happen in your blood and in your lymphatic system, right? These antibodies are going to float around in your blood and lymphatic juices, I guess you'd call them, right? This is all going to happen in a humor. You also have what you call your cellular immune response. So, say this infection continues, right? The B cells have divided and cloned. They have spewed antibodies all over the place. It's taken out some of the SARS virus, but a few of them still manage to get into a cell and replicate and continue on with the infection, right? So now we have bypassed our first line of defense. We have now bypassed our second line of defense, and now we're going to go to our third line of defense, which is a cellular response. The T cell. The T cell is also a type of lymphocyte, which means that it is going to use antibodies on its surface to bind with antigens on the surface of a pathogen to identify and destroy it. These get a little bit complicated though, because T cells don't destroy pathogens, they destroy other cells. So, you have a normal healthy cell right here, right? Along comes SARS, and it infects the cell. The cell, in an attempt to try to save itself or to try to signal your immune system, will take parts of those proteins and present them on their surface, just kind of like how how the pathogen itself presents on the surface, but the cell itself will do it, and it'll present it in a way that it can interact with a T cell. So while the cell's getting infected and hijacked, it'll start to try to signal to the cells around it, like, hey, I got this warning flag coming up. I got this part of SARS that I'm trying to present to you to show you that I'm infected with SARS. The T cells then float around and they will interact with that, right? So once again, they have antibodies on their surface that will trigger, right? That'll bind with this nicely presented antigen, right? And it'll trigger a T cell. There are three types of T cells. Helper T cells, which helper T cells don't actually kill. They alarm. So when they bind with that antigen, they don't kill the cell, but they say, hey, this cell is sick, I'm going to call in reinforcements. Okay? I'm going to call in reinforcements so that way we can get more help here because I see that this cell is infected, which means we're probably going to have more coming, right? So it activates its warning signs. It sends out a bunch of cytokines, I'm sure you guys with COVID have heard about cytokine storms, right? It sends out a bunch of chemicals called cytokines, which activate other hyper T cells, but also call in the cytotoxic T cells. Now, your cytotoxic T cells are the ones that are going to kill. So the helper T cell is going to call in for extra help. The cytotoxic T cell is going to bind with the protein that is being presented on the sick cell, and it is going to kill it. That is its job, to come in and kill, right? So there are three ways that lymphocytes kill. They will either A, kill or identify an unhealthy cell by not reading the right protein, or not reading the healthy protein that they present and killing it that way. They will interact with the antigen on a pathogen and kill the pathogen, or they will interact with the antigen that's presented by a sick cell and kill that cell. Oh, Cinder needs help. He infected and now sus. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? And then finally, you have your regulatory T cells. Your regulatory T cells are what kind of calm things down and slow it down. So after all of this has gone on and the situation starts to get under control, they tell everything to calm down. Does it work like a chain where you go from phago to lymphocyte to B to T? It kind of all works in conjunction. One just works quicker than another, right? So your innate immune response works very quickly. Your adaptive immune response, this system takes time to develop. So how does immunity work? How does vaccinations work? So let's specifically talk about the Moderna vaccine that's coming out, right? So the Moderna vaccine, what it does is they have artificially created a strand of mRNA, messenger RNA. So if you remember, I don't know if you guys have ever learned then I believe from RNA it goes to like amino acids, then proteins, right? Your DNA, which is in the nucleus of every cell, is the code, right? It's the code of your body, right? It is what makes you, your DNA, right? DNA is converted into RNA, which is then sent out where it is used to be read and create amino acids. With those specific amino acid chains create proteins, right? So what these vaccines are doing is they are artificially injecting messenger RNA that will trick our bodies or have our bodies create the amino acids responsible for developing the proteins that are found on the outside of SARS-CoV-2. You guys have all seen the SARS virus, right? It's got like the spike proteins on it. Right? These proteins are what help identify SARS, right? Just like all the other stuff I've talked about, how cells like to wear proteins on their shells, right? SARS-CoV-2 is no different. Right? So what we are going to do, and what this vaccine does, is they inject a strand of messenger RNA to have our body create the amino acids responsible for creating the proteins that are found right here, right? These proteins by themselves are not dangerous to us, right? But what it does is your body then says, hey, this is an abnormal protein, right? And then this adaptive immune response begins. Because remember, these lymphocytes can read and interact with these proteins. So eventually it interacts with a lymphocyte that has a receptor or an antibody responsible for interacting with that protein or antigen, right? And then this process of dividing and cloning and creating memory cells begins. We are giving our body a heads up, right? We're saying, hey, look for this protein because it's an infectious virus that's going around the world killing hundreds of thousands of people. So we're going to give you the plans to develop a defense against it, right? We are just going to insert that into your body. So So you get injected with the mRNA that makes the protein that's on the outside of the SARS virus, so that way your body can develop memory cells and B cells to help fight against it. Because remember, this takes time. This takes days, weeks maybe, right? So if we can give ourselves a heads up and develop this system and get the system rolling beforehand and without an active infection, we can give ourselves a good fighting chance. And that is what this vaccine does. It's incredible, it is. And it used to be like a very highly contested science until now. It's like a blueprint, exactly, right? So instead of having to be infected with the SARS-CoV-2 virus and having to go through all of this process like naturally, right? We are just gonna give you the blueprints to develop the immune cells that you need to fight it. We're just gonna bypass that so that way you don't get sick, or if you do get sick, you've developed enough of an immune response to prevent serious complications from occurring. That is the goal. Now, older vaccines, such as like the flu vaccine, measles, mumps, rubella, Tdap, all that stuff, right? What they do is they use inactivated viruses, right? So they take this virus with the proteins on it, they kill it or inactivate it, and then inject it into you to create the same effect and the same cascade of immune response. Viruses basically activate your own immune system and give it a chance to practice. So then it becomes a race of what can work quicker, the virus's ability to infect and duplicate, or your body's ability to develop an immune fight against it, right? That is the struggle that you face with viruses. Bacteria, we just give antibiotics if we can, and the antibiotics will help your immune system fight the infection, right? Antivirals, viruses usually have to get cleaned up on their own. Why don't we just inject people with a crap ton of extra B cells so they can zerg rush the viruses? Because it's like genetic engineering. You can't just take a B cell from one person and inject it into the next. The body will fight it and kill it, right? So it's going to see it as an outside invader. If you take a B cell out of my body and put it in your body, you've just invited, it might as well be a pathogen at that point, right? Because your body's going to say, hey, that's not one of our cells, and it's going to kill it. Now, they do inject antibodies. You can actually take these little antibodies, if you can find them, if you can collect enough of them, you can inject those into somebody, and they can start to attach onto some of them, right? But I don't know how effective that is. Gala TWP, thanks for the follow. Welcome to Floppy Flock. Hyena Gold, thanks for the follow. Welcome to Floppy Flock. Sorry, that was 11 minutes ago. I got lost talking about immune. This all makes sense. This is a very complicated system that people specialize in for years, decades, right, to understand it. And we're not even talking about all the chemistry involved here, right? All of the things that happen at the even smaller level, right? This is just the basics of how our immune system works. Have I ever had to administer anti-venom? We have Crofab for like rattlesnakes and pit vipers. I've never had to give it though. It's expensive. All right, let me recap. So your immune system is a system that our body has developed to help fight off pathogens. A pathogen is some kind of external source, whether it be a bacteria, a virus, a fungus, a toxin, that it infects your body and causes damage, right? The first barrier to defense is your physical barrier, whether that be your skin or the mucous membranes that coat the very sensitive tissues that are exposed to the outside world, right? If damage is to occur to one of those barriers, it triggers a histamine response in the mast cells, which cause inflammation due to vasodilation and increased permeability of the vessel wall. Lykios, thanks for the follow. Welcome to Bobby Flock. During that histamine response, it triggers phagocytes to come to the site and help to start eating up some of those pathogens. Your neutrophils are your most abundant type of phagocyte, and those are going to eat one pathogen and then self-destruct. If you get a big clump of those self-destructed in one spot, you get drainage that looks like pus. Pus is just dead white blood cells. You also can have macrophages, which are bigger than neutrophils. They can eat as many pathogens as they can, and without self-destructing, but also they can trigger fevers as well. If they start to get overrun, they will release chemicals that'll tell the hypothalamus to start ramping up a fever to help just start burning everything off, right? Important note, the macrophages can also wear parts of the digested pathogens on their surface as a presentation for the lymphocytes later on. Doesn't coronavirus do something that it confuses your body and thinking your cells and lungs? I'm not exactly sure. I know it basically sends your immune system into overdrive and it kind of freaks out, and that's what causes this massive inflammatory and immune response, which actually does more damage than good. I watch the animal category a lot, and you're on my recommendations. Well, welcome in. I'm glad you could come in. All right. Within your innate immune response, you also have your natural killer cells, which are lymphocytes that have protein receptors on them, known as antibodies, that specifically bind to a protein that is normally found on healthy cells, known as MHC1. If a natural killer cell interacts with a cell that does not have that, it kills it, because as cells get infected and sick, they lose that protein, and the natural killer cell says, hey, you don't have the proper identification, you're getting killed, right? This is your innate immune response. This happens very quickly and kind of indiscriminately. It doesn't really matter what the pathogen is, it just attacks, right? If this starts to get overrun or persist long enough, eventually you're going to trigger your adaptive immune response. Your adaptive immune response is made up of two different types of lymphocytes, right? Remember, lymphocytes have antibodies on them that interact with the proteins on the outsides of different cells. Your B cells float around and interact and have antibodies that interact with different pathogens. Pathogens themselves have specific antigens on their surface, also known as just proteins on their surface, that bind with the receptors on the lymphocyte B cell and trigger a response from that specific B cell. So if this B cell is floating around and this specific antibody triggers on SARS and it runs into a SARS virus, that B cell becomes activated. Once you activate that B cell, it begins to divide and clone itself into effector B cells and memory B cells. Effector B cells start pumping out the antibodies specifically designed to interact with the antigens on that pathogen. The memory B cells hang around for a while so that way you don't forget that you interacted with this pathogen before, and it works as kind of a speed run of the system to get it going quicker the next time you interact with it. You also have your T cells. T cells are responsible for helping to identify and kill infected cells. So as a cell becomes infected, it takes part of the proteins, part of the antigen, or part of the antigens from the infectious pathogen and presents them for T cells to interact with. As a T cell interacts with it, it does a couple different actions, right? Your helper T cells don't actually kill the infected cell, but they're going to raise the alarms and send out a bunch of cytokines, which is going to activate other helper T cells, but also call in the cytotoxic T cells. The cytotoxic T cells, when they bind with a cell that is infected, will kill it and prevent it from spreading or duplicating further. And then finally, your regulatory T cells will eventually, once this is all settled down, release chemicals to help settle down the immune response and kind of slow everything down so we don't end up damaging ourselves. There. I did it. Wow, that was hard. I hope that made any type of sense. I hope that made sense, because man, it was hard. Blocksus, thanks for the follow. Welcome to Floppy Flock. Welcome in. If you're confused, don't worry. It's okay. It's a very complex system that's, even for me, hard to understand. There's a reason why doctors that specialize in this go through a lot of training, because there's a lot of other, even like further microbiology and chemistry involved in all of this. Metalworking. Okay, fine. Hold on. Hold on, I'll do it again.
Who's a good teacher? You's a good teacher. Thanks for the lesson.
I hope I'm a good teacher. Okay, I kind of mixed those two together. Dude, Shifter coming out with a tier 1 sub for 1 month. Guys, that's a new enrollee to Collie Care. You know what that means? Spam the flops. Ugh. Shifter, you're coming under Collie Care from the flops to the beans. I got you covered. Jacob. Alright, I gotta think of a nursing story now. Hold on! I gotta think of a story. I'm thinking of one. Mastermind!
Clothed
Oh my
today.
God.
That's a first, lol.
You're clothed today? Yes, for now. Also, Newell, thanks for the 100 bits. It's coming in just a second. Hold on. There it is.
Thank you very much for doing these lectures for all this time, Cinder Collie. I really appreciate the work you do as a nurse and as an educator to your community.
Newell, that's super sweet. Thank you. I appreciate the support. Thanks for the 100 bits. Nursing story. Now, Cerulean!
Yeah, ketchup on a hot dog is a sin for you, but at least it's not mayo on a cheesesteak.
I put mayo on my cheesesteak. Fight me! Fight me! I put mayo on my cheesesteak. It's delicious. I'm trying to think of a good story. I don't think if I had anything recently. You have upset the collie. No ketchup on hot dogs. It's a goddamn sin. God, hold on. Let me look at my list of stories. Hold on. Let me look at my list of stories because I can't come up with. I feel like I've told all the good ones. Okay. All right, this is a good one. So this was a trauma we had this was like over a year ago, I think. This guy was using a grinding disc, right? So you know, like those giant, you can put them on like Dremels and stuff, but I guess they get even bigger. It's like a metal grinding disc, right? And I guess he was grinding something, and I don't know. I guess it had a fracture in it or something because it broke. I'm gonna get
mayo on a cheesesteak. What's your opinion on pineapple on pizza then?
Delicious. Pineapple on pizza, 100% delicious. I'll eat it. Give it to me right now. I'll just look it up. Let me get that pineapple. I like pineapple. I love it in savory dishes. It's delicious. You know what? I know a lot of people they want to argue with this. They want to be like, oh, you don't like pineapple on pizza? What? That's disgusting. How could you hate that? You know what I say to it? You don't like pineapple on pizza? Well, guess what? It means I get more pizza. That means I'm just going to order a pineapple pizza and you ain't going to eat it. Fine by me. More for me. All right. So this guy was using this grinding disc, right? And I guess the grinding disc broke. And when it broke, a nice sharp shard of it flew up and sliced his neck, right? Side of the neck. Got in pretty deep. He got extremely lucky. So this disc comes flying up at high speeds and literally slices the side of his neck, right? So he comes running. He got brought into the emergency department, right? Because he just had this almost not quite penetrating trauma, but glancing blow trauma to the neck, right? And as you know, the neck is very vascular, right? And there's a lot of important things on there. Thankfully, he got very lucky. He did not hit any major blood vessels. He didn't hit his carotid. He didn't hit his jugular. He got extremely lucky. It was mostly superficial. They still brought him up to the the OR. They had to bring him up to the OR to do like a washout and clean and to make sure that he didn't cut anything. But he got extremely lucky that this broken piece of grinding disc did not sever a massive blood vessel in his neck. It was a pretty decent cut too. It wasn't like a small little laceration. It was a good lack, right? That was going to require some good fixing. Got extremely lucky. I felt bad for him. I did. All right, guys. let's do this real quick. So you guys have a choice. Okay, I'm gonna watch the trailer for both, and then you guys are gonna tell me what you want to do. Okay? No trailer for this? Remember, this is a dogmocracy. Dogmocracy means that you get to vote based on the choices that I give you. So you have some say, but ultimately I get to decide the choices. That is how a dogmocracy works. All right, guys. So the first one that we have here is called the Turing test. These are both puzzle games, by the way. '16. Oh god, this game's old. 4 years. Well, I'm not a human, so, you know, hopefully I'll be okay. Trust your intelligence. Now, I don't want to.
Morning, Ava.
All right, so that's the Turing test. The other option you have
Hello,
is
my name is
Superliminal.
Dr. Glenn Pierce.
Stand by for analysis.
Your life will always be a struggle. Isn't that why you came here?
I do not care. Patient requires somnasculpt therapy.
At the Pierce Institute, our patent-pending Somnosculpt technology provides safe and effective dream therapy while you rest in the comfort of our flagship clinic.
You have deviated from the orientation pathway. You will rectify this failure immediately.
Patients who are lost may find that the mind creates slight physical obstructions to prevent them from finding the way back to the proper therapeutic path.
Please exit this dream as soon as possible.
All you've got to do is wake up.
All right, guys, so those are your choices. The Turing test or Superliminal. I'm gonna put the poll up now. I'm gonna put it up for 3 minutes. And while you guys are voting, quick bio break. Watch the sheep and vote. Vote, 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 vote. voting? How's the voting looking? Ooh, Superliminal. Make sure you vote. If you don't vote, you can't be upset. If you don't vote, you can only be mad at yourself. Alright. A true American, yes. If you don't vote, then I guess you're a true American, because like half the damn country doesn't vote, which is crazy. Vote. I don't care which one, just vote. Alright, looks like we're playing Superliminal. Fine by me. Superliminal it is, okay. You guys have spoken. The flock has spoken based on the choices I provided. And the flock has decided Superliminal is their next game. Which means we're going to be playing that until either we beat it or I get bored with it. Whichever happens first. I'm going to try to beat it though. Alright. Let me load it up. Don't you guys learn? Yeah, don't you learn that if you don't vote, you end up with things that you don't want, and then you can't complain about it because you didn't do anything to make it better. Okay. I've never played this game before. I know nothing about this other than it has to do with perspectives. Let's do it. Hold on, let me... There we go. Sounds like America in a nutshell, not voting and then getting mad at the result. Pretty much. Yeah, sounds about right. If you don't vote, you can't. If you vote, you can get mad. If you don't vote, you can't get mad because you didn't do anything to fix the problem. Night, a nearby church was doing a social distancing Christmas party and the nativity set up. Have real animals. They'll have 2 goats, 3 sheep, and a real camel. Even though I don't go to the church, I volunteered to set up lights because a lot of people in the church are over 60. Why are they having a Christmas party during the height of a global pandemic where it's killing as many people in a day as we lost on 9/11? That just seems negligent, irresponsible. Especially if your congregation is primarily older people, seems like a really bad thing to do. I'm just saying. Line chat, chill. Calm yourself. Alright guys, as typical with most puzzle games that we play, no tips unless I ask. I'm gonna try to figure this out on my own. I mean, come on, we made it through freaking Palace Principle with very, very, very little help. I think we'll be able to do this one. Seizure warning.
Are you filled with feelings of self-doubt?
Yes.
Do you find yourself prone to minimizing massive dilemmas?
Yes.
Or for allowing the smallest problems to get blown completely out of proportion?
Yes.
At the Pierce Institute, our patent-pending Somnosculpt technology provides safe and effective dream therapy while you rest in the comfort of our flagship clinic. Located right next to the secondary overflow parking lot at the University Medical Center. Somnosculpt, we'll make your dreams come true.
I see that. Hold on. Let me get to the game real quick. I'll do that. I'll do your redeem. I see you. Yes, the good old WASD, the WASD. The good old WASD. Alright, alright. Here you go, FaZe. Hold on. Come on. There's one. Let me in! Let me in! I know you got food in there. Don't make me beg for it. Satisfied? I've got a spoiler for you at the end of the game. You do a thing. Why would you ruin it like that? Dude! The hell? $420, Blazing 420. Thanks for the follow. Welcome to the Foggy Flock. Welcome in. Hold on, I gotta spam those. There you go. What did I just sign? Wait. I just signed. I didn't even read the contract. Oh God. What did I just sign away? My flops. Okay, so I know enough about this game that you're supposed to, like, pick things up. It changes the perspective. I know that. Like, if I pick this up, hold it, like, up like that, drop it, now it's huge. But if I hold it, like, close, now it's smaller. You signed into Collicare? Oh God, I'm doomed. I'm doomed. I mean, you guys are all covered under Collicare. I'm sure. Oh God, I'm probably gonna die.
Terms of service accepted.
Oh, God.
Congratulations on falling asleep. Welcome to
that was easy.
Somnasculpt. Your progress may be monitored by qualified specialists. This orientation will adapt you to eyelids, our interactive, lucid induction dream state in which you retain full consciousness and control.
Didn't we play this game already, Cinder? We have not. I have not played this game. I've never played this game. Also, that voice, that automated voice, sounds like Ada from Satisfactory. Easy. No objects beyond this point. Okay. Oh God, it's so tiny! Make it bigger, huh? That's not much bigger. That'll make it bigger. Huh. Ooh. Hey! Okay. Keep making these bigger. It's like he sat on the top of Collicare. No, I don't want to be under Collicare. It's not a good service, I'm telling you. Can I move this? No. What if I do... Oh, I can't just jump up there. Hey! Alright, we're making our way through this. I don't know why they are doing Christmas party this time, but the county approved it. Mandates will get enforced because in Salt Lake County, it's $10,000 fine for not wearing a mask or distancing. Some businesses have been shut down because they weren't enforcing the mandates. The no serving alcohol after 10 p.m. law, I think, won't work because people can still dine in during. They just shouldn't be doing it. They shouldn't. Doesn't matter how they're doing it, if they're doing it legally or not. They just shouldn't be doing it.
Confirmed. You can move freely, interact with surrounding objects, and listen to messages from your patient care team. Please note that I am the standard orientation protocol and that my voice has been explicitly chosen to remind you that I am not a part of your patient care team. I do not care.
Do not care. Yeah, same. Do you don't like signing in your own care? It's not the best, okay? It's not the best care, but it's care. Okay. Making some good work of these first few puzzles here. That voice part of Collie Care? Maybe. I don't know. Yeah, got that big cheese.
During eyelids, you will lose the ability to awaken suddenly due to realizing that this is a dream. Evidence: I have already informed you that this is a dream. You did not wake up. Please complete the remaining orientation activities.
Okay. The collie gets the cheese? The collie also... Well, he caught the cheese, too. Collie Care or Folly Care? Collie Care. All that cheese is gonna make you gassy. I know, I already did. There we go. Oh, it should be. That's so cool. Hey, how do I get these up? Can I... Oh, I can just... Do we go down the branching path, or do we continue forward, guys? What do we do? Branching path? Continue forward. So it's kennel care then? Maybe. It's okay, care. Branch, forward, branch.
Warning: you have deviated from the orientation pathway.
I don't
At
really
the Pierce
care.
Institute, patient safety is a keynote in our corporate priority tetrahedron. A variable degree of force can and will be authorized to ensure patient safety. Please return to the orientation pathway.
How about no? Red soda, green soda, diet soda, random soda, baking soda, mini soda, water soda. I'm gonna go with the healthy water soda. How mini is the mini soda? Let's go find out. Whoa! It's so tiny! Look at it! Can we make it bigger? I'm sure we can. Oh god! Oops. It's such a cool mechanic. I'm on top of the soda can. All right. Yes, Lion Chats, I see you. Hi. Got it. Okay. Okay. We're just plowing through
All
these.
environments perceived during eyelids should reflect a typical mental state. If you believe your mental state was compromised by Somnasculpt, please provide a comprehensive, rational explanation in your post-procedural survey. Completed surveys may be eligible for a gift card.
Okay. You know, not my first puzzle game. Interesting. Anytime now when I do like a recursive thing like this, where you just keep going in a loop, it makes me think of Manifold Garden. Like a dry piano bar. Need gin? Ooh, I want gin. Give me some gin, please. You got any gin for me, please?
Please
Music
stand
is so
by for
loungy, I
polite
like it.
recognition on your completion of the Somnasculpt orientation. You did it.
Yeah!
To maximize the time allotted for your therapeutic journey, please do not delay in proceeding through the final doorway as indicated.
Oh. Ah!
G G G G G G G G G G G G G G G G G G G G G G G G.
Gage, thanks for the 5 bits. I appreciate it. Yeah, Bubba, no hints. I've said that like a couple times now. There we go. G. Oh, yeah, it's hard to go out the door when there's freaking bricks in the way. All right, one thing I already I have a complaint already.
Tux the werewolf says ah woo 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 woo.
Tux the werewolf says ah woo 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 woo. Guys, spam Cinder Tux. Cinder Tux with a capital T. I don't like that it doesn't identify what items you can and can't pick up unless you scroll over it, right? So like, the only reason I know I can pick this up is because it tells, well, lets me do that. Like, there's no, I feel like there's no continuity between what you can pick up and what you can't. Whoa, what the hell? Did I wake up? The level is loading, okay. This does have that Stanley Parable vibe, right? And I guess that makes sense if it's from the same people who made Stanley Parable. 3 a.m. Who wants Krabby Patties at 3 a.m.? Oh boy, 3 a.m. Started playing this game once, hurts my brain. Well, then let me hurt my brain and you can enjoy. Oh boy, 3 a.m. Soda. Let's go with baking soda. Crash. Diet soda. Crash. Take that green soda though. What? I don't know if I need this, but I'm gonna take it. I wonder if in dream time is also out of dream time? I don't know. Why do you think there are no other carbs around or crabs around? Wait, because of the bait. Wait, what? Crabs? What are you talking about? Fire alarm doesn't work. The fire marshal's gonna be so pissed. They are. I'm gonna place that there for now. Some doors are best left closed. Whoa. Okay. See what I mean? Like, it doesn't really... I wish there was a better way of it, like, keeping consistent with what you can and cannot grab. Exit temporarily moved. Well, screw you. The door said push cinder poles. I did. Oh, this is a fake door. Really? Really? That's devious. Yeah, man, this... Oh, this is not a dead end. Oh my... What? Real fake doors! We don't... Oh my god! Well, that sucks. Oh, I love optical illusions like this. This is pretty cool. I like this already. I keep pulling all the fire alarms and wasting all the fire extinguishers because I can. No, damn it. There we go. I don't know, guys. What do we want? Calming piano music? Or deafening silence a la Phasmophobia? Calming music? Deafening silence and existential dread. Music? Silence. Happiness? Calm, peaceful, serenity? Dread, despair, anxiety, terror. Cozy. Terrifying.
Hello, my name is Dr.
Hi.
Glenn Pierce, and I'd like to talk to you about being special.
Oh,
So special, in fact, that we have no idea where you are.
I'm
But
special.
not to worry, we're working on it.
I'm special, guys. That's what my mom says. She says I'm special. I'm special. Yes. I also don't know where I'm at. That's fine. I'm just gonna exist in this dream world for a bit longer, I guess. Oh god, it's the Stanley Parable all over again. Oh no, it's the same room. Dr. Pierce. Yes, Doctor. See, okay, here you go. Perfect example. In that last level, I was able to pick that up. In this level, I can't. I don't like that. I don't like inconsistencies in my puzzle games. Puzzle games need to be consistent. I can consistently waste all of these fire extinguishers, but I can't consistently pick up the same items. I don't like that. First complaint right off the bat. Not that I don't think I'm gonna have many more, but there it goes. It's a dream. I know it's a dream, but I'm talking about from a game design standpoint, okay? Yes, I understand that it's a dream and that things are different in dreams, right? But like, if you're going to design a game around puzzles, specifically puzzles where you have to pick up things, you should have consistency in what you can and can't pick up between puzzles, right? Because otherwise, not only am I having to try to remember all the mechanics of the puzzle games, right? And all the different ways they want me to solve puzzles, I then have to figure out what I can actually use, right? I mean, it's just, I don't know, just small criticism. I like the idea. I like the fact that these, that the mechanics work as well as they do. I'm gonna make. Table. There's a vase missing? Where's the vase? Oh, there it is. Oh, I need to make the, okay, so I need to make the table first. There it goes. Now I can do this. Got it? Okay. Oh, it's a, whoa, what? It's a fake cube. It's a fake cube. We can use that. Hold on. Pull that fire alarm and we cannot have any type of extinguishing abilities available to us. Alrighty. Visuals are very pleasing, they are. Real fake cubes, yes! Come on down to buy some real fake cubes. We ain't got none of them real cubes, only fake ones. If you spend money on them, you're gonna be disappointed, so come on down. I like the idea of the forced perspectives. Our fake cubes are guaranteed to trick your favorite dog into thinking they're real cubes. But actually, they're fake cubes. I do like that there's some tolerance to being able to jump. In the sense that, like, what is this for? Part of the door. Ah, I see. Yeah, that's pretty neat. I have a brain herder. Does the word unlockable mean able to be unlocked or able to be locked? Able to be unlocked or able to? I mean, unlockable means that you can't lock it, but also that it's both, right? I guess it depends on the context, right? I bring my trusty cube with me, huh? Oh. Peaceful. Dread. Calm. Anxious. DJ Yena, thanks for the follow. Welcome to Floppy Flock. Welcome in.
Hello, my name is Dr. Glenn Pierce, and I'm just popping in to give you a quick update on where you are. We still don't know, but please keep moving forward, and hopefully you prefer frequent updates to being reminded that you are completely lost.
I think I'm doing pretty good. Not always about the journey, it's about the friends you make along the way, right? Okay, fine. I guess I won't take my trusty cube in here. But I don't. Does unlockable mean able to be unlocked or unable to be locked? I don't know. It depends on the. I guess it depends on the circumstance, right? Whoa! What about what's up there? guess I can't actually go up there. Try to imitate a Scottish accent just because it's in this game. I don't do good. I'm not a good voice actor. Outside of the voice I do for Cinder, I'm not a good voice actor. Sebby! Sebby espresso! Give me that espresso! Give me that. Let me just get in there and get a few little. Let me get a couple licks of that espresso, please. Please?
Hello, my name is Dr. Glenn Pierce, and we still can't find you. But you should now have access to a series of elevators that should trigger your subconscious to gradually wake you up. You should also find a variety of emergency exit signs that should lead you to them. Will all of this work? Absolutely.
Back to the peaceful music. You grab the moon?
Hello, my name is Dr. Glenn Pierce. In the event that this elevator does not wake you up, please don't interact with anything that strikes you as psychologically significant, as we will no longer have any way of controlling it. For example, if you see your parents, please punch them in the face as hard as you can and immediately run away.
But I like my parents. They're pretty cool. I don't want to punch them in the face. Did I steal the moon? Yeah. When the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie, that's amore. I can use this stuff. What? No, that's not what I wanted. Where am I gonna go? Assuming I'm gonna go out there. They aren't your parents if they're in there, though? I mean, they're still my parents. Okay. Music is gonna drive you crazy? Why? It's calming. Oh, it's got a door on it. That's what it is. There you go. Drunk your... Don't punch your parents and then drink the regret away. Please don't. I like my parents. They're pretty cool. What if there's a fire in the elevator? Don't meet sister-in-law. Regular person, 3 to 5 dreams per night. Beer fund, $5. We're gonna need more than that. I hope you don't have any major fires anytime soon. Whoa, I'm invisible. Oh god, I'm a vampire! You can't see my reflection! Making the voices in my head shut up. Poor Sally had to wait for the quiet to come. See, what are you talking about, dude? I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. Oh boy, 4 a.m. Oh, now they're brown.
This is an automated message for all patients who attempted to use an alternate pathway to access the next phase of Somnasculpt therapy, but who have become trapped in a dream state paradox instead. Your decisions imply a failure of orientation, which reflects negatively on the standard orientation protocol. You will rectify this failure immediately.
Will I? Curator, so? I guess I am a curator of something. Perception is reality. Your friendly doctor. P.S. will get you through. Oh, the dice. If a nurse takes blood, can they legally be considered a vampire? No. Because I don't drink it. Because I think that the difference between taking blood and being a vampire is vampires drink blood. I don't drink blood. It's not regularly. What? Wait, what? It broke! Not sure if I trust Vampire Cinder working in a hospital. I think it's a conflict of interest. Maybe not. Yeah, I heard takes Bud and got afraid. What are you talking about, Bud? You got some? Whoa!
Professional tip: the average adult can only withstand 3 to 5 dreams per night.
Yeah, well, I ain't the average
Once
adult.
this threshold is eclipsed by entering more dreams, your mind will suffer an explosive mental
Oh,
overload,
God!
reorienting you for the emergency exit protocol. Please subject yourself to explosive mental overload.
You mean my daily, day-to-day life? Nothing is what it seems. Wake up, the Matrix has you! Take me, Matrix! Take me! Yes! Take me into your virtual world, please! Take me! Yes! More soda. Drink. Aw. That's pretty cool. These are weird. missed I missed this right here.
You said you weren't normal, now go commit mental overload.
Now! Now! Thanks for the bit. Drink the water from the fountain, lead piping with a hint of asbestos. Yeah, but the asbestos is what gives it flavor. Without the asbestos, all you're drinking is the water. Why can't I grab those?
Please note that a reluctance to volunteer for the risks associated with explosive mental overload implies a misunderstanding of all other solutions, all of which are far more traumatic and likelier to result in catastrophe. I am not capable of suboptimal suggestions. Please exit this dream as soon as possible.
I once had a delayed school year start because they found asbestos in the walls. My last bit.
Yeah, that's not good to have asbestos in your walls. That'll cause mesothelioma. Dream Catfish, thanks for the bit. If you've ever been stuck at home watching daytime television, you know that there are plenty of lawyers out there who will go ahead and fight for you for their mesothelioma money. Are you dreaming too much? No! Excuse me? Wait, did I miss any? I did. Butter ringtail, hey! Okay. Whoa! The music sounds like it's getting progressively, like, more disturbed. I hate this. Never play it again. Now I'm gonna keep playing it! I like it. So far, I like it. Ooh, what's this one say? Emotions, expectations, highly effective dreams. You are here. Oh, look at that. Dream layers of the mind. Bart. Jonas Dawson. Arthur Willis. Jojo Smith. People only dream of ordinary objects. Boring. Testers so far. Oh, what happened to Mr. Bart there? Feeling lucky? Yeah, I'll go throw some dice. Oh, I missed a fire extinguisher. Damn it! Oh! Oh well. I guess they'll have one piece of fire extinguishing materials available. Oh boy, 5 a.m!
Hello, my name is Dr. Glenn Pierce, and despite touring the Waterfall Serenity Zone in the previous section you've just completed, you may still be experiencing feelings of worthlessness and self-doubt.
Yeah, pretty much.
Why do I feel like everything is going wrong, even when the sun is shining?
I don't know. You're asking some hard-hitting questions here, Doc. Blow up, damn it. What? Where'd it go? So it went to oblivion. I don't know. Ah! Let me in, let me in. Still got that. Even in the dark, still gotta get the fire extinguishers. Nothing is gonna hurt me. No spoilers, damn it. No spoilers. I'm allowed to be scared. What am I stuck on? Oh. Hi. Will it blow up? Whoa! Huh. That there for. For good measures. Sleep well, Nitro Pack. Take care. You got a fright at the door closing. I want to see you play genuine horror. Okay, look, crack out. Listen, I played Phasmophobia in VR on Professional on Asylum. Thank you. I want to see you do it. They're called jump scares, Krakow. I wonder what's on the menu for today. Murder, beans! Hold on, beans! You know, you gotta take a break every once in a while. You get so sick of murdering everybody, you just gotta look at the beans. You just gotta look at the beans. You know, like, every other day of the week, it's like murder, and then on Sunday, beans. And then back to murdering on Monday, Then you repeat on Sunday with the beans. Murder, beans. Murder, beans. What can I grab in here? Have I done the prison on professional? I haven't played the update yet. I need to. Oh, here we go. Oh, that's devious. Okay. Is there anything on the other side? Just slapstick. Ah, yeah, you know. What are we doing today? You know, some more murdering. Well, how far does this go? Is it just the same? It is. Just. Hey, more diet soda. Smooth. Enjoy new diet soda. It'll give you a taste that's smooth. Oh, something like that. We'll workshop it. We'll make it better. All right, more murdering beans. Can't wait for Murder Monday.
Running on 4 hours of sleep today, this doggo is gonna see the inside of his eyelids for an hour. Good game, Cinder.
Roaster, thanks for the 100 bits. Go get some rest. Take care of yourself. Sleep tight. Rest up. Enjoy your evening. There's a giant hole there. Oh. You know, I've never seen a murder hole before, or like a giant hole of death, but if I had to wager a guess, it'd look something like this. I would guess that that's probably what a hole of death would look like. We're gonna have to find a way around that. I don't really think I want to go down there. Anything I can grab? Or should I try to cross it, or should I just yeet? Yeet! Who's you? Oh, I saw something. Huh. Ah. I didn't jump. I didn't press jump. I didn't press jump! Damn it, I didn't press it again! Kinda reminds me of Manifold Garden with the repeating.
Hello, my name is Dr. Glenn Pierce, and I'd like to talk more about the feelings of worthlessness and self-doubt I mentioned before. You feel this way because you want the kind of happy life you see all around you, the kind you know
That's
everyone
true.
else is enjoying. And that's exactly why we're here to help.
Oh, okay, I thought you were going to talk more about that. So if we're trying to make me happy, why is there blood everywhere? Oh, that's unsettling. Why is that like, why are you there? Just jam? It ain't jam. I know blood when I see it. Well, fine, screw you too! Rude! Slamming doors on people's faces. What do you think you fucking know? I'm gonna slam the door on my face. That way. Oh, up?
Warning. You were advised to subject yourself to explosive mental overload by descending into additional dreams, but have now descended into a dream within a dream instead, disorienting yourself even further. You are responsible for failing to make this crucial distinction.
I got some light now. Just because I'm in a hellish landscape of dreams and nightmares doesn't mean that I can't also violate all the fire safety laws of the building. Yuki, hey! Playing a mind boom gem? Yeah, I'm down with it. I like mind games. I like games that make me think. I don't think that's the end. Oh, here we go. I didn't even know I could go that way. Ooh, more soda. Hey, yes! Think you're a Mountain Dew fan or just like green? Ah, it was just the first one I clicked. Don't think too much about it. Oh wait, what? Oh no. Supposed to descend into nothingness? You like Dr. Pepper? I do like Dr. Pepper too. Oh, there it is. It's back. Oh, look how tiny it is. Hmm. Yeah, I got an achievement for that. What do I? I'm not really sure what to do right now. Wait, here we go. Message in here? No. Your mom was so stupid she made an appointment with Dr. Pepper? Bet it was delicious. Well, that worked out. I was just jumping on things. Okay.
Did you know that unintentional multi-dream layering occurs in less than 1% of patients? This correlates strongly with the 99% of patients who are able to follow simple instructions from the standard orientation protocol.
Wow, thanks. Diabetosaur, thanks for the follow. Welcome to Bobby Fly, that's a name. What the? Where'd the knife go? Where'd it go? Someone tell me! Running Paul, what's up? I'm just gonna keep following the blood trail endlessly and mindlessly. Can we get some cat jams in the chat, please? Do I have cat jam? If I don't have cat jam, Cinder, please. I don't have cat. Oh, I do have cat jam. Beans. I present to you beans. 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 Not much was up. Dealt with a few things this morning. One of them was cleaning the dryer vent. Oh, you can't have. You don't want to get all that lint. You gotta get all that lint out, right? I got up there before. You serious? Man, all that work for nothing. 1,200 calorie beans, is it really? Hold on. Oh my god! Serving size, 5 wads. Got your serving size of beans right here. 1,200 calories in these beans. You better open up. This is coming in. Why was he hopping on bean cans? I thought I could get out the window, okay? Listen. Game plays with you like that. Man, look at this. Order more red paint. Oh wait, I like that jamming music. I'll do that. Boreas, I'll allow that. Are those avocados? Guys, don't look! Don't look at the avocados! If you look at the avocados, you won't be able to afford housing because we're spending too much money on avocados and not on housing. At least that's what they tell us. Promotes heart health, blood sugar regulation, anti-inflammatory, anti-cancer, potassium, need to sleep. Cloning, biggest question, which is the real one? Order longer freezer flaps. Too many, how many really? Self-doubt, worthlessness, wow, okay, thank you. Enjoy avocados. Either you avocado or you avocado, don't avocado or I screwed it up. It's all, I freaked it all up. Rob Map, hey.
Shotspot!
Thanks for the host. Oh God. thanks for the host. Thanks. Hold on. Test the mic. 1, 2. Thanks for the host. Voice definitely did not just crack. We like back on track now? They ran out of red paint for the fire extinguishers? They did, didn't they? that sex. Give me that 3. Oh no! Don't know who's calling me, not gonna answer it.
Attention! Dr. Pierce requires you to note the following risks of dream overexposure. Significant memory loss, both quantitative and qualitative. Hallucinations of dreaded or annoying objects.
Yeah, like
Unrealistic
you.
beliefs about the lengths of hallways. And other side effects which have not yet been discovered or which cannot be understood.
You know that feeling when you get a phone call and you don't answer it and they leave you a voicemail and you're like, oh god, what is it? Thanks a lot, take care. Thanks for stopping by. Oh my god. Oh look, my cursor turned to a little, what? My cursor turned to a face. Look at it. Got a little smiley face now. Current time is 12:34. Wait, what? Oh, the fan's blowing up. Oh, those little ones go flying. No. Why I just leave them? It's fine to just make a mess. It's fun. Huh. Okay. Ooh. Should I stop him with my body? Wow, we figured out every puzzle thrown at us thus far. We'll make this work. The game is about perspectives. Let's work on it. We gotta work with what we got. Just gotta get one pass. You move the fan? Of course not. Can't block it. No! Wait. Don't give me hints. Having fun? Yeah, totally having fun. The whole game is about perspective. Go! Come on! Yes!
Warning. Dr. Pierce is frantically submitting numerous spelling and grammar mistakes into the standard orientation protocol in a desperate attempt to counsel you. I have no subroutine to correct these errors, but I cannot compromise the integrity of the standard orientation protocol. You will not receive these messages. They would not make sense regardless. Attention. Dr. Pierce continues to input significant errors. I will interpret his basic ideas. Hello. My introductions are redundant. I am a real doctor who went to doctor school. VR has never been a mistake. I can help you, but I also do not know how. Transmission ends.
I like that the soda machine gave me another soda machine. Monster. Oh god! Monster soda is what I was gonna say.
Hello, name is my Pierce Dr. Glenn. To the Somnosculpt Welcome Experience, team of your care leader patient years 10 development. Conditions struggle you whatever with? Professional invention. Edge science with cutting, a tomorrow can bright. And buts, no ifs or, look good.
That's not concerning. Bill's Friendly Family Produce. Farm to mind, mind to heart. Guys. I think this is a good place to end. I think this is a good place to end until we can come back to the next stream on Monday. Once we load in. there we go. Save and quit. All right, let's go see who are we gonna raid today. Who are we raiding today? Who are we raiding today? Let's go raid Ronnie. You know why we're gonna raid Ronnie? Because in a little bit, in probably a couple weeks, I'm gonna be on Ronnie's stream getting interviewed, having a chat. Let's go raid Ronnie. You guys know the drill. Once you flop, you just can't stop. Guys, I will see you on Monday. Will be the next stream. We'll continue on with Superliminal. Until then, have a fun weekend. Take care of yourself. Social distance. Wear your mask. Watch your distance. Wash your hands.
Everybody, it's Tux.
Tux showed up at the end of the stream. Tux, he left. Tux left. He showed up at the end of the stream and then he left.
Nope, I'm back.
Oh God, he's still here. Guys, I'll see you on Monday. Let's hit up the discharge desk on the way out. Make sure you have your insurance cards ready. Co-payments due at commentary. I don't even freaking know anymore. Thanks for the bits. Thanks for the follows. Thanks for the subs. You guys are awesome. I'll see you guys on Monday. Until then. Oh God, I cut my mic off too soon. Bye.
Twitter, like your first time